name is Jim Hendrix. I'm Daviess County Treasurer. Today we had our budget work session where the judge and the commissioners review the budget and consider items that they may or may not want to change or add or whatever. And then they will communicate that to me, and we'll have first reading of the budget ordinance on May the 5th. Then we'll have the second reading at the first meeting in June. The budget reflects that the county's financial position is very strong. There's not any real surprises or oddities in this budget. Much of the operations is as normal. Most of the changes in numerous departments are simply related to cost of living adjustments and budget increases such as the pension. We do have a number of considerable major capital expenditures in this budget. To highlight those, in the Parks Department, we have $500,000 for capital repairs and maintenance for ongoing issues, $750,000 to replace lights on our highly utilized Panther Creek Park, fields 4, 5, and 6. In the Fire Department, we have two fire engines. One's carried over from this year, but both those engines cost $540,000 each. And then about $200,000 of life pack and other bunker gear that they need for safety. 2 storm sirens for $84,000 under EMA. In the Road Department, $160,000 for a tractor and a bush hog, $65,000 for a single axle dump truck, $30,000 for a dump bed and snow equipment, a sign truck for $50,000, and a tandem trailer for $27,000. We plan to asphalt $859,000 worth of roads from the road fund and an additional $641,000 from the LGEA fund. We also will receive flex money and bridge money from the state in the amount of about $380,000 that we will expend. For infrastructure projects, we were completing our public safety radio system, and that completion should cost us about $1.2 million. There's a flow-through item for a KIA amount to East County Water District in the amount of $850,000. We also anticipate providing RWRA $2 million, the Senior Citizen Center $2 million, Habitat for Humanity $1 million, and other infrastructure projects in the amount of about $5 million. At our enterprise fund at the landfill, and we call it enterprise fund because no tax dollars flow through from the general fund to that fund, it generates its own revenues and pays its own expenses. So it's called an enterprise fund for our purposes. We will purchase a compactor for about $1.4 million, a tractor for land farming about $300,000, a fuel truck $143,000, and we're applying for a grant that if we are successful in getting the grant, we will purchase a compost screen for $300,000. At the transfer station, we're replacing 2 road tractors for $255,000, replacing 2 live floor trailers for $212,000, a roll-off $164,000, and in the construction, we're building a new cell at the landfill. The liner installation for that will be about $1.2 million with an additional $400,000 in cell construction. Again, most of the budget is pretty much normal business. We did discuss the ARPA funds that we received. We'll have a total of $20 million to expend. $10 million of that will go to broadband, which we will be able to supply citizens out in the county that normally didn't have access to good, strong broadband. They will have access. The additional $9.9 million will be expended, will be claimed under the revenue loss issue that the government allows us to do, and we'll be using those monies for salaries, which will then, the reimbursements from the ARPA money and from the CARES money and election money that we had reimbursed frees up general fund money that is being used to supply for the big capital projects that are being done. Again, with that, the budget looks good. The county's financial position is very strong. We do have a strong reserve. Basically, that's operating cash for so many days. that is intact and strong. And with that, we're ready to start a new year.